U.S. President Donald Trump has said that China is not ready for a trade deal with the U.S. and reiterated he was prepared to levy further tariffs against Beijing. China wants to make a deal, and I say they're not ready yet, Trump told reporters at the White House on Tuesday. Just say they're not ready yet. And we've canceled a couple of meetings because I say they're not ready to make a deal. We can't have a one-way street. It's got to be a two-way street. It's been a one-way street for 25 years. We've got to make it a two-way street. We got to benefit also, okay, said the president during his farewell meeting with Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the UN who announced her resignation yesterday. When asked if the United States was ready to impose more tariffs, Trump said, "Sure, absolutely." The unprecedented trade war between China and the U.S. shows no obvious signs of ending, triggering fears that it will drag down global economic growth this year and in 2019. The comments by Trump came days after the Chinese ambassador to the U.S. said his country was ready to make a deal to end the dispute. "We are ready to make some compromise," Kui Tiankai said in an interview with the Washington-based National Public Radio last Wednesday. "The U.S. position keeps changing all the time, so we don't know exactly what the U.S. would want as priorities. Trade war escalation will hit China harder than the U.S., IMF says." Kui said Beijing was willing to take steps to reduce the U.S. trade deficit with China as well as to commit to reforming the Chinese economy, in which unfair trade practices including discriminatory subsidies for domestic industries have been among the major complaints by Trump. But Kui said the U.S. needed to clarify what it wanted. "We had some tentative agreement between the two working teams, then just overnight the tentative agreement was rejected and the demand from the U.S. changed," Kui said. "So this is very confusing. Trade war. China risks disengagement with U.S. unless it changes." Beijing accused Washington of holding a knife to our neck to force trade concessions after the Trump administration announced tariffs in late September on an additional $200 billion worth of Chinese goods, including televisions and toys. That meant about half of the products that Americans bought from China had an extra 10% duty added. In response, Beijing announced it would impose tariffs of 5 to 10% on an additional $60 billion of U.S. goods, including meat and liquefied natural gas, and canceled a planned delegation visit to Washington. Trump had said that he was ready to impose tariffs on a further $267 billion worth of imports if China takes retaliatory action against our farmers or other industries.